Today I'm joined by both the Titan Ace and the Titan 1 ball machines. These are both very impressive machines. They have a lot of similarities, but they also have a lot of differences. My goal with this video is to help you know which one is right for you. So today both of these machines are going head to head so that you can see which one is best for your pickleball needs. So for the first 5 categories that we're going to cover, the machines have the same exact features and capabilities, but I'm still going to cover them so that you know what you're getting from each of these machines. So category number 1 is delivery for these machines, and they typically deliver within 3 weeks. They have really fast delivery, especially when compared to other ball machines, but really they deliver quite fast. The next category to talk about is the oscillation of both of these machines. It's the exact same. Their oscillation is 60 degrees. So they'll be able to hit you balls anywhere on the court. There's really not anything that it can't do. And the best part about both of these machines is that for almost every single drill that you do, all that you have to do is put your machine at the center of the baseline, and it stays in that spot throughout the entire drilling session for majority of drills found inside the app and the vast majority of drills that you create. So it's super nice to not have to move these machines around. You can just keep them in that same exact position, really no matter what drill you're doing. Now that said, like I talked about just a second ago, if you are doing dinks, I suggest putting the machine where the person that you would be dinking against would be dinking from. That way it's more accurate for actually playing in a match or in a tournament. The next category is apps and drills, and Titan actually just barely came out with their new Titan Drills app. The one before was absolutely fantastic, but now instead of having access to 12 built-in drills, you can build 24 built-in drills. So you could have 24 different drills at the same exact time. And what's super nice about the app is that you can upload a drill that your friend just did with his Titan ball machine, because he'll have it on his app. You just simply download the QR code and upload it into your app. What else is cool is you could do all the same drills that I do, and I'll actually leave a link to all the Titan drills that I already have on my specific app in the description of this video for you to check out. You can then upload them into your app and they'll work seamlessly whether you have the Titan 1 or the Titan Ace. One of the main problems with the old app is that it wasn't as user-friendly. It kind of has a big learning curve. This new app is way more user-friendly. They did a ton of test flighting, specifically with influencers and other people that have used the app previously, and then they took that feedback and really made a fantastic product. So the learning curve isn't as large. There still is a learning curve with the app, but there's really going to be a learning curve with any app, especially that has the most advanced technologies like this app does. So when you get on the app, you can literally program your own drill and have each shot go in a different position. That's what's really nice about these machines, is that if you tell the app that you want to have one ball at the baseline, the next ball at the kitchen line, the next ball in overhead, it can do that from ball to ball. As well as controlling where the balls are going to, within the app you can also control how often the balls are shooting out, the spin that you want to get, and the speed that you want those balls shooting out at you. So for the feed in specific, you can go from having it shoot you a ball every 1 second to having it shoot you a ball every 10 seconds. It just depends on what your preferences are for that specific drill, but you can change it from ball to ball to ball. So for instance, if I want one ball to shoot out every 1 second, and then I want the next ball to shoot out every 5 seconds, and then the next ball to shoot out every 10 seconds, you can do that depending on what best fits the needs of the specific drill that you're doing. So the app is super cool and user-friendly, and it doesn't matter what machine you have, the app is gonna work the exact same way because both of these machines have the same exact motor. The next category is consistency. This is obviously one that's super important, and I think that machines, this is where they kind of fail other ball machines, is that they're just not very consistent. They'll be hitting you one shot in a particular location, and then the next shot is like 2 feet off from there. I would say this machine in particular is only going to be about 2 to 5 inches off of where it hits that initial shot. And it doesn't really matter how much battery you have, you're still going to get a consistent feed, regardless of if you have 100% battery or you're going on about 2% battery. It's going to give you a relatively consistent feed. Obviously, every once in a while, you're going to get a ball that shoots in the net, but that's really going to happen with every single ball machine. That's just what happens with them. I'm not exactly sure what's going on in them because I'm not the engineer for them, but these machines are extremely consistent, both of them, and you really won't have a problem with inconsistent feeding. The next category to cover is batteries. This is the last category where both machines are exactly the same, but they use this, a lithium-ion battery, and this is the same exact battery that you'd see in like a Ryobi electric tool that you'd use to maybe weed whack your yard, or if you have one of those electric lawn mowers. Same exact lithium-ion battery, so you could use those batteries as well as these ones. In my experience, these batteries last an extremely long time. Something that's nice about both of these machines is that they actually shut off in between each drill. So as soon as you run out of balls, the machine will automatically shut off and stop running, and so that obviously saves you a ton of battery. But I personally have gone multiple weeks with the same exact charge on my battery and have had absolutely no problem. And the machine will come with one. Like I said, I don't think you need more than that. So pretty cool. It's super easy to put in. in, you just simply push it in. In order to get it out, you just squeeze both of these tabs on the side and then pull out. What else is super nice is that you can charge this separately. So you charge this completely separately. You don't have to take your machine in and out of the car or in and out of the garage or whatever it is that you need to do. You can just simply take the battery and plug it into the wall. Whereas with other ball machines, you're really just not going to get that. You have to plug the physical ball machine in, which can cost you a lot of time and also a lot of headache because you're having to go back and forth with the big, huge machine rather than just the small battery. All right, now we hop into the nitty gritty. These next 5 categories really put these two machines against each other and kind of show you their different features. And based off of their different features, you'll be able to really tell, especially by the end of the video, which one is going to be best for your specific needs. And the first category that we're going to talk about is the price of each of these machines. So these are definitely more pricey machines, but that's simply because they're some of the best machines on the market. So it makes sense because the more that you pay for something, obviously the more that you're going to get from it. And that definitely holds true with both of these machines. On my left, we got the Titan Ace, which comes in at $2,099. And on my right, we got the Titan One that comes in at $2,299. So it is a $200 difference between the two machines, but you can get $100 off by just going through the link at the top of the description of either of these machines. So obviously in the price category, everybody would just go for the Ace machine, but there are some trade-offs with that, which we're going to talk about now. The next category to cover is the aesthetic of both of these machines. Obviously, this is going to come down to personal preference, what you personally like. Both these machines look sleek. They definitely have those Titan vibes to them where they just look super nice. Starting with the Ace, it has the lid feature where you can take the lid on and off and flip it upside down to hold all of your balls. And then you can just simply take that lid back off, push it back on, and now it's this small little compact machine. The Titan One, on the other hand, holds all the balls inside of it. It also has this lime green pickleball-esque, if I could say if that's a word, trim all the way around the top, which I personally think looks really sleek. But both machines look excellent, just really depends on your preference and what you like. Now onto the transportation and portability category. The Titan Ace is a lot smaller and more portable. It's way easier to put inside your car. It's also easier to lug around just because it's so much smaller. But that said, the trade-off is that you have to carry your balls separately. So you're going to be putting your balls inside of a ball basket and then taking them from the ball basket into the cradle of the machine. And then when you're done with your drilling session, you're putting them back into the ball basket. So that ball basket and the machine is going to take up probably a little bit more room inside of your car than just having the Titan One that holds all the balls inside of it. That said, I found that both of these machines fit perfectly into anywhere from a small car to a huge truck. You're not really going to have a problem with them fitting, but it is going to be easier for that smaller machine to get in and out of your car than it is for the bigger machine. Just remember that trade-off with actually having to hold your balls separately. So for this category, it's really going to come down to your personal preference, what you'd prefer, holding your balls separately and having a smaller machine, or having a slightly larger machine and having the balls inside of it. Now onto the speed and weight category. So for this category, speed really doesn't matter with a pickleball machine. You obviously want it to be up to at least 50 miles per hour, but anywhere above that, it's absolutely ludicrous. You don't need a machine that's going to shoot you balls that fast because you're really not going to see balls that fast when you're playing in pickleball. If they do come that fast, they're going to have to hit the back fence. That said, both of these machines go the same exact speed. So they go up to 75 miles per hour, which is absolutely crazy. I've had the experience. It's hard to keep the ball in, but you know, it is actually pretty good for practice because then you go to playing like in a real match, playing against real players that are hitting, 40 miles per hour, and it feels almost slow-mo. So both are super fast machines. And then with weight, the Titan Ace comes in at 39 pounds without the balls. When it gets the balls added into it, it goes up to 47 pounds. And the Titan One comes in at 48 pounds. And then when it has balls added, which it will pretty much all the time since they're inside the machine, it goes to 56 pounds. So you're looking at a difference. So when you're transporting it from 39 pounds with no balls, then you have to carry the balls separately with the Ace, to 56 pounds with the Titan One. So a difference of about 17 pounds when you're taking both of these machines around. That said, it's really closer to about a 10-pound difference because you're carrying those balls separately. Now onto the last section, probably the most important with when you guys decide whether or not you're going to get the Titan One and the Titan Ace, and that is the ball capacity. How much balls can these machines hold? So starting with the Ace, it can hold 110 balls. So you could probably get 115 in there, sneak away with it. With the Titan One, you're going to get 85 balls. Now that said, what's interesting is that you can get an add-on to the Titan One button and it just zips up, and it takes your ball capacity from 85 to 240 balls. Now that does come at a huge cost of portability, because with that add-on, it's probably not going to be able to fit in smaller cars. You're probably going to need a truck bed or at least a big, huge sedan that you can fit it in the back. But 240 balls, that's a ton of balls. So keep that in mind when making the decision between the two machines. Obviously, remember, you have to carry the balls separately. So carrying 110 balls separately along with your machine might be a little bit more difficult for others. But I've talked to so many people that way more prefer carrying those balls separately and having a smaller machine. So really debate that and debate the other features of both of these machines when you're deciding between the two. For my personal needs, I personally like the Titan 1 because it already has the balls inside of it, and I have a big enough truck that it can hold my machine. The extra weight really isn't noticeable for me, but that said, I've talked to multiple people that prefer the Ace because it's way more portable, it's smaller, it holds more balls without you having to add on to something that's going to take away from your portability. So this really depends on you, your specific preferences. I hope that this video has been helpful. If you want to see a comparison between the Titan 1 ball machine and the Ernie ball machine, they're both known as the two kings. You guys can watch that right here, see which one's better for you, and I'll see you on the next one.